Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast Retro Life Review Movies of the 1980s. Sitting in this week with me, Mr. Travis Rollins. I am, of course, Chris Adams,
Yeah,
host of the show, Chris Adams. This is
Mr.
this is the
Chris
other host of your
Adams.
show, Mr. Travis.
Chris Adams and
Travis
Travis
Rollins.
Rollins coming to a podcast near you this
That is-
summer.
this summer. There you go. It's summer, and that's now, and we're both here. Why not do a podcast?
There we go.
I had this thing about this week. I had this fighting feeling that I want to do something action wise, something that I can call a sport of some sort. Why not do Bloodsport this week?
It sounds good.
I mean,
With the King of the Splits.
King of the Splits. I mean, it's probably one of his better early movies he had.
I'm going to say, yeah. Is that or Kickboxer?
Kickboxer was a good one, but I mean, this just really stood out to me. Of all his early films, and we're just gonna jump. Let's just jump right into it. Of all his early films that Jean-Claude Van Damme did, we have, he wasn't the star in some of them. He was No Retreat, No Surrender. He was a bad guy. You have, famously known for breakdancing at the beach and breaking, and he wasn't really breakdancing. He was just doing that same thing he did in Kickboxer. But when he finally got noticed, I think Bloodsport was the first one that got him really noticed.
Yeah, I mean,
When he got to the right people.
Most of us, I think, consider that his first movie.
Right. Or it's his first real movie anyway. His first starring role.
Yeah.
Not like just a bit piece here and there. Then you have, of course, there was Kickboxer. There was Cyborg, I think, was after that. There was now some of his movies. Lionheart was. I loved Lionheart. I love Double Impact too. But everything always goes back to Bloodsport for me.
Yeah,
because this is where it all began with the fun. I don't want to say fun tournament, but the fun action you get from the movie, from the tournament that he goes to and everything.
The tournament was fun. I'll say it was fun.
It was fun. His training.
Maybe not when Bolo Young crushed my dude's head, but
yeah, Ogre Ray Jackson. What's his actual name? Donald Gibbs' his actual name.
Donald Gibb.
But yeah, Ray Jackson was his character in there and smashed that head good in for him, didn't he?
He did.
But he had it coming though.
He had his head open.
He had it coming. You know why?
Why?
Because he danced around like a cheerleader thinking he beat him just because he did a double axe handle on top of his hard head and put him on the ground for a second. He's dancing around yelling, "I did it! I did it!" I'm thinking, is this Rocky? Is he yelling at Adrian? Right. I did it! I killed him! No, you didn't. You knocked him down on the ground because you made this.
Yeah, you just knocked him down. That's all he did.
Turn around and fight. Anyway. Did you see this movie at the theater when it first came out, or was this one like a VHS watch for you?
Lord, no. Yeah, this would have been a VHS watch for me.
I didn't know I know you were born in 80. This came out, I think, in 88, didn't it?
Yeah.
So I mean, 8 years old. It's kind of. I mean, if the right person take you, you might have got to go to it.
Yeah, I didn't see many movies in the movie theaters in the 80s.
Well, then VHS rental years down the road. I mean, do you remember the first time you seen the movie? Let's put it that way.
It probably really would have been on cable.
On cable, you think?
Like HBO or Showtime, Cinemax, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have watched it at one of my friend's house on cable.
That makes sense. What did you think of it the first time you watched it? What was your thoughts on it?
I mean,
obviously, a lot of the younger guys love the martial arts movies.
Yeah, that's why I loved it. Well, see, the very first Jean-Claude movie that I saw would have been Kickboxer. So that was the first one that I saw of him.
Okay.
Then Bloodsport was right after that. So I loved it. I didn't know that Kickboxer wasn't his first movie or whatever. So I didn't know at the time what order they went in, but I fell in love from the get-go, and then it was movie rentals from Blockbuster from then on out, probably in the early 90s.
Yeah. I definitely was at the theater for this one. This is one of the movies that I got to go watch. Um, with some, I remember going with some friends.
Hmm.
We'd get together every weekend. We'd go catch a movie at the mall or something. And I remember watching it when it came out. It was great. I mean, we got like a new action star we wasn't used to. It was always before that you were watching Chuck Norris or you was watching maybe a West. I think Wesley Snipes came out about the same time Van Damme did,
Probably about that. Yeah.
and
I would
Seagal
say
was.
before, yeah, but Seagal was around the same time too. So before that, you would have been like you said, it would have been like Chuck Norris or my dad's
Jackie
favorite.
Chan.
Well, Jackie didn't hit until the 90s.
Was he 90s? I thought he had a couple in the
Yeah,
80s.
well, he had quite a few, but there were none in America. So Rumble in the Bronx was his first movie that got released in America.
Yeah.
But you may have seen him like if you watch the old stuff. But I would think that it would be like your Charles
Well,
Bronson
on
and
some
stuff like that.
VHS, but on VHS rentals, we still had some Jackie Chan movies we could watch, even though they wasn't released here in the theaters. We still
Yeah,
had
like
some
the
of those
Drunken Monkey or whatever it was.
stuff like that. Yeah, because you had that section that was just martial arts dedicated.
Right.
So anything from Chuck Norris to the whatever ninja movie was out now to Jackie
Hmm.
Chan to old Bruce Lee, and things like that. You know, we got the.
Michael Dudikoff. I mean Dukakis.
You had it right the first time. Stop while you're ahead, sir.
No, I didn't mean to get it right.
We can't be having you disgracing the American Ninja's name, sir.
Hey, you know how a ninja celebrates
Hey,
your birthday?
how?
On your grave.
Oh, that's not much of a celebration for me. I thought you were going to say in the shadows or something.
In
but
the
yeah,
shadows. Yeah.
you get together with them and you cut up.
That's right. You
Oh,
give you a
see,
slice
you
of
didn't
cake.
even think about it, did you? You didn't
Give
put
you
more effort into that
I'll
one. I'm
give you a
telling you.
slice of cake.
Budget for this movie estimated $1,100,000. Grossed worldwide 10 times the amount. 11,807,585.
Respectable, I think.
Yeah, opening weekend wasn't great, 515,721. But it definitely made its money back. And I would be willing to bet you this movie made its money back tenfold more than the 10 times it made on the theater
Oh man.
when it hit rental
Yeah, I would
and for
say for
purchase.
sure.
So
Yeah. I would even uh with this being, Van Damme who went on to become huge, I would say that Bloodsport is a cult classic
I
because
would,
it went,
yeah.
it went way bigger after its release. Like it got so much bigger years down the line.
No, you're correct. Yeah, and not to mention that developed something between him and Bolo Young, which later on was brought out again in Double Impact.
Yep. I've watched interviews with both of them. Said they developed a close, real friendship. Unlike the person who Van Damme portrays in this movie, one Frank Dux.
I was about to bring that up to you. You know, there's a lot of people out there that will tell you he is a fake and a phony in every area that he talks about. They said that they don't believe he ever did any kind of well, let's say he claimed he was a fighter at some point, right?
Mm-hmm.
They say basically he lied his way into Hollywood.
Right.
He only has something about a confirmed story of maybe being in the reserves at
Right.
best,
Right.
at best in the reserves, and then he claimed he was CIA. CIA claims they have no idea who he is or that he was ever a part of
Right.
the organization. And he created his own brand of martial arts, the Dukes. Was it Dukes Ryu Ninjutsu?
Yeah.
And they call that a fabrication, a
Dukes
complete
Ryu.
fabrication as well.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I mean,
he claimed that he became a ninja at like 16 years old or something.
that's something. And then claimed he
It's
fought in all
like,
these
come
underground
on, man.
tournaments, all these underground secret tournaments he fought in and everything. And yeah, I don't know. He got in the Hollywood summit. I guess that he found his ticket in by lying, and he
Yeah.
did a little bit of coordinating and stuff like that. He was in a couple of other movies, where you couldn't
Well,
see
he
who
has
he
a
was or nothing.
memoir. He has a memoir titled "The Secret Man: An American Warrior's Uncensored Story."
Lord.
He described himself as a teenager traveling to Japan and stunned its warriors class with his skills. And after enlisting in the Marine Corps, he competed in the Kumite, an illegal tournament in the Bahamas that served as inspiration for the movie.
In the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Isn't that where Mortal Kombat was held, on some tropical island somewhere?
Yeah.
In the movie, I mean, Lord.
He returned to the U.S. with a ceremonial sword and spent the next 6 years on secret missions across the Southeast Asia for the CIA.
I bet he can put a lot of kids to sleep at night. He's the ultimate storyteller.
I'm telling you what.
Man. So let's get a little bit on the cast. We're not going to go a great deal into the cast or anything, but just a few people. Of course, you mentioned Van Damme had bit parts in Breaking, No Retreat, No Surrender. He was an uncredited soldier in Missing in Action. He played the bad guy in Black Eagle. That was right after Bloodsport. And Black Eagle also starred, speaking of ninjas, Sho Kosugi, who is truly a ninja.
Yes.
He was also on something called Monaco Forever.
Monaco Forever. I
And
don't know if I saw that.
he is listed here. I am not kidding you. His, Bloodsport, he's listed as Frank Dux, right?
Mm-hmm.
No Retreat, No Surrender, Ivan Krasinski, the Russian.
He's
Monaco
gay
Forever.
karate man.
Gay karate man is what it says.
Gay karate man.
That's the title given to his character. Seriously. They
That's
couldn't just say
outrageous.
his name was Frank or George or Bill. No,
Right?
he's listed as Gay Karate Man.
How did Gay Karate Man get on the cover of the movie?
I don't know that
That's
he's really
hilarious.
on the cover of the movie or not, but
that's hilarious.
But then, like I mentioned, Cyborg, Kickboxer, Lionheart, Death Warrant was the one I missed earlier. That was a cool movie when he goes undercover into the prison.
Yep.
Double Impact was always great and fun. Universal Soldier was good. Him and Dolph Lundgren.
I did go see that at the movies. That one. Yeah, that one I got to see at the movies because my friend Mitch, his dad, took us to see it when I was right before we moved back from Aiken.
Yeah. A movie called Nowhere to Run. I didn't really watch that much. I watched it once.
I believe that's the one. Wasn't that the one where he was in the desert?
Yeah.
And he ended up hooking up with Roseanne Arquette.
That's who it was. Or I couldn't think of her name. I could see her face in my mind, but I couldn't put her name out there. Roseanne Arquette.
Yeah.
He had a bit part in Last Action Hero because, in Last Action Hero, it showed a little bit of everything in there.
Mm-hmm.
Hard Target in 93 and Time Cop in 94. Now, I go that far because those are pretty much where people said he started falling off. But Street Fighter was fun for me because it's based on the video game.
I love Street Fighter.
And I liked Sudden Death.
I thought that was good.
After Sudden Death, though, I can't say a whole lot about it.
I disagree.
I didn't like Did you like Maximum Risk?
I liked It was okay. I won't say
I didn't like Double Team.
Double Team. I didn't mind Double Team, but then he got good again. I liked The Quest, which came before those. Legionnaire. Let's see, I loved Legionnaire. Legionnaire was awesome, I thought. Did you watch Legionnaire?
Nope.
Legionnaire was really.
I didn't watch it because everything else he'd had before that just turned me off of what he'd been putting out.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Legionnaire was really, really good.
The one I watched after that, the next one I'd seen for him was Universal Soldier: The Return, and it was nowhere near as good as the first one.
No, I agree with that. But Legionnaire was good. He was a boxer that got paid off, and he was trying to get out of America, and then he basically escaped by joining the Foreign Legion. So he was kind of like on the run from the mobsters and stuff in it. But I thought it was a really good movie. Inferno. Do I remember Inferno? I don't know if I remember Inferno. Inferno was the oil field. Yeah. I remember Inferno. Inferno was decent. Well, not only that, he started getting he started getting, I think, less invested in him too. Like the movies they didn't have the budget that they had, in between, like
It's almost like
working
Hollywood
its
lost.
way up to.
Think about it. It's like Hollywood lost interest in Jean-Claude Van Damme being the main star.
Yeah.
And then you got Stallone brought him back for the Expendables.
Mm-hmm.
And he played a good bad guy in it. But I mean, he's never really recovered, I don't feel like, to have a great career. He's worked, obviously.
Oh, nonstop.
He's worked. He's got his own series.
JCVD that's what I love.
His own
That was
series,
hilarious.
JCVD.
That show was hilarious. I wish they had kept it going.
Another Universal Soldier, Day of Reckoning. I didn't see it either. Didn't watch it. Now I watched Kickboxer Vengeance, where he's playing the master at this point. He's playing Master Duran.
Oh, I thought that was good. He had the glasses and everything, and
Yeah.
I actually liked that a lot. Actually,
yeah,
I thought that was a really good one.
I did not see Kickboxer Retaliation though yet. Not yet.
Not seen that one either.
I will watch it eventually.
Didn't Sasha Mitchell take over for him in the Kickboxer movies?
Yeah, but he did played the character in the older Kickboxer movies.
Cody,
yeah. What the little person you would least expect to be someone that's a black belt in karate.
For real.
That dude. Something very cool I'm gonna say about Van Damme, and then we'll jump on one of the other people real quick and talk about him. Is that he was the inspiration to the Johnny Cage character in Mortal Kombat.
100%.
Mortal Kombat had taken things from several movies, it seemed like, and Johnny Cage is a play off of Van Damme from Bloodsport, straight to the split punch.
Yep.
Going to the splits, punching them in the crotch.
100%.
Oh, that was my favorite thing in the game to do to people.
The thing about it too was that Johnny was the actor that they didn't take seriously,
right?
As a martial artist, which kind of bleeds right back to Van Damme, because he's a real martial artist that nobody took seriously. Like, but the dude is really like he can. I'm not gonna say he can really fight. Like, could he get in the cage against anybody? Not no, but back in the day, you know what I mean? Like, he's won karate championships. Like, he's a national champion.
Yes, he had championships when he was younger. And I'll tell you something else too. Don the Dragon Wilson spoke up for him as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Don Wilson's a former champion also.
Yep.
He is actually one of the people that jumped up and said that if it came down to Seagal and Van Damme, he said Van Damme would whip him.
Oh, yeah. We all knew that from the get-go, though.
I mean,
even back then, so some people thought Seagal might win, but anybody who actually knew about martial arts back then already knew that Aikido is bull crap, and would be like, Van Damme he'd kick his head off.
Well, and the thing is, Don Wilson also, in his own way, kind of called out Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
And was talking about him being a real martial artist and stuff. Now, he's a real black belt in Aikido. If you watch anything on Seagal, though, when he talks about Aikido, he said he took Aikido because it seemed to fit him the best, because it was supposed to be like one with energy and one with something else. And it was like energy and flow and something else, he said, to where, because you're using, if you watch Aikido, you're using the opponent's stuff against them anyway, right? They're coming in at you. You're taking their momentum, just like Judo does.
But so the thing, in a sense, because Aikido is actually a supplemental art that goes with Bushido. Bushido is the way of the sword. So if you lose your sword, if you lose your weapon, Aikido is meant to fight against an armed opponent, and with the intention on disarming them or taking their weapon, which is why you see so many wrist locks, and they're not really throws. The throws, that the way he slings people across the room, you got to have somebody that does Aikido to do that, because that's not going to happen. You're going to you could totally break somebody's wrist or their arm or something, but you're not just going to fling them across the room like that.
He was known for hurting people sometimes too on set, because he wasn't careful with them and everything. So I completely believe you on that. But jumping to the next person, Donald Gibb, We talked about him
Mhm.
earlier briefly. Played Ogre in
Yeah,
Revenge of the Nerds. That's where most of us first seen him, I think, is Revenge of the Nerds.
yeah.
And
No,
as a
we first saw him as Orstric's bodyguard in Conan the Barbarian. Yeah, I knew it was going to work its way in here somehow, Chris, tonight. You cannot talk about one action hero without talking about the god of all action heroes.
it always happens. Always. I don't how did I ever doubt you?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was in it though, honestly.
Yeah. Well, his hair was all slicked back.
Oh well, see
He's
now.
uncredited too. He had a mask on.
Well, then there you go. There's no reason why. See,
Yeah, he was the one. He was the one. It was a brown. It was a brown leather mask with studs around the neck.
he's been in quite a few things that I liked movie wise. It's just that he's never been like the main star.
Well, no, I don't think he's the main star. Kind of.
I don't think he is either. He's a great supporting role type person. He's great
Yeah.
for that. He was an uncredited henchman in Any Which Way You Can. He was a bouncer in a mud wrestling bar in Stripes. Then he played a bunch of TV series. Here we go. Simon and Simon, Hardcastle
McCormick, 18, Magnum PI, all the great ones.
Magnum.
The only one
And in between all that, he managed to throw in Revenge of the Nerds and Meatballs Part 2.
Yeah. And somehow, if you missed out, he was even in Benson, but he wasn't in Airwolf.
Yeah, Benson, a comedy series. I don't know. I see where he played the character Big Luther. I wonder what that was.
I don't know. I don't remember enough about Benson. One of the few grown-up shows I actually enjoyed when I was a kid.
Benson was great. I loved it. He had a great sense of humor with the great chemistry with the people on the show and everything.
Yeah,
a lot of little one-liners.
Yeah. Oh, he was the Wolfman in Transylvania 65,000. Great movie. It really overlooked, man. Nobody would ever pick that up off the shelf, take it home to watch it, but I did because I watched nearly every movie in the daggum Blockbuster.
Well, you could entertain yourself somehow, right?
Yeah, man. Transylvania 65,000 is actually pretty funny. It's actually a cool movie.
Facts of life. You take the good, you take the bad. You take them both, Travis, and there you have.
Yeah, there you have.
The facts
there
of life.
You have. The facts
he played an episode of Hunter, 2 episodes of My Two Dads. He's on. I remember him on Night Court. I remember the episode of him on Night Court, coming in front of Judge Stone. And Night Court is one of my favorite shows back in the day. Anyway,
Night Court was good.
MacGyver,
Herman the German.
There.
Herman the German.
What a name! Quantum League.
But
Cheers.
Going under Don Gibb, was he saying that was his name? Because a lot of these have quotes to say as Don Gibb.
Yeah, he's credited as Don Gibb, not Donald Gibb.
Oh.
In the credits. And if you look at it he was in Cheers as Don Gibb, played the role of somebody called Tiny. Now, he played a character that I think he's not really a main character, but he's a key character in the Renegade TV series. And I love the Renegade TV series. I thought it was awesome.
Oh, yeah. My mom watched that all the time. She watched every episode of that. I can't believe it was only on for 2 years.
He plays the character Hog Adams.
Yeah.
Cletus Hog Adams. And we had a guest on our show that you weren't able to be present for, unfortunately, that I interviewed, Jeffrey Blake.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey Blake played the role of Hound Adams, his brother, on the show.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So, yeah, I just thought that was a fun thing. Because, like I said, Renegade was a favorite TV show, one of the favorite TV shows of mine that was not an 80s, deal, it was in the 90s. But anyway, let's see. He's back in Bloodsport 2 as Ray Jackson. And somebody else is playing the role of Frank Dux or a different character. I think it's Frank Dux he's playing. It's Gary Daniel playing it.
Yeah.
The TV series Weird Science. He's in several movies where he's not really big in. I think it was U.S. Marshals.
Yeah.
Not The Fugitive, but U.S. Marshals.
Okay.
He was in Hancock as one of the inmates, I believe.
Yeah, he's all over the place, man. You see him a bunch of places.
But he only plays that one kind of character. It seems like that's all he's really suited for is that one kind of character.
Yeah, the biker.
He's
the
either a
big biker guy,
yeah, a biker or an inmate in jail or something.
where he's a locked up biker.
There you go, combination of the two. You get the real money there.
Yeah.
Moving on, Miss Leah Ayres. I think it's how you pronounce her name. Ayres.
Yeah, I reckon.
A-R-E-S. We're gonna call her Leah Ayres.
Leah Ayres.
Known for Bloodsport, Eddie Macon's Run. The last thing she's credited for. The last thing she's credited for as an actress is an episode of Sliders in 1998. She was in Walker, Texas Ranger. Played a role of in three different episodes there.
She just give it up.
I tell you, Bloodsport was her first. I don't know if it was her first big movie. She was in a TV series on HBO, First and 10. Do you remember that?
Nuh-uh.
It's about a football team, obviously, First and 10. But 21 Jump Street, she had a little bit of like an episode or two there. A few St. Elsewhere's. She was mainly TV. All the big TV shows back in the day, of course, you're going to see. Like I said, Eddie Macon's Run in 1983. She was in that.
Yeah.
So she came out in 79. That was her first deal.
Yeah, I don't know her. I don't know her from anything. I barely remember her from Bloodsport.
She did not have a great long-lasting career for sure.
She's unmemorable.
See, I wonder why that is. She's not a bad-looking lady.
Yeah.
She seemed to be her acting chops wasn't that bad,
Right.
So I wonder if she, out of her own, decided she wasn't going to do anymore, or if it was just something about her, her acting that turned people off that they didn't want her anymore.
Right. Probably a little of both.
Not much about her in her bio.
She was having a hard time finding work.
No, nothing about her in her bio very much. Actress known for Bloodsport, The Burning, and all that jazz. Been married to Bruce Kalish since November of 91. They have one child. Previously married to Warren Dillaway, Ayres Jr. She is, let's see. When was she born? 57, so I imagine she's still around with us.
Yeah. Nobody cares. On to Forrest Whitaker or Norman Burton.
People love her. We're going to talk a few minutes more. You shut up.
If you want everybody to cut it off now.
Forrest Whitaker. What about him?
Forrest
Come on.
Whitaker.
You said Forrest Whitaker. Moving on. What do you got for Forrest, man? Come on.
Lazy eyes and samurai swords.
What's the first movie you seen him in?
The first movie I remember seeing him in, that I like that guy. Man, it was probably a later movie, but I probably saw him beforehand. But I'm gonna say, Good Morning Vietnam. But I know I've seen him in movies before that. You know what I mean? I know I have. But
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah,
Charles Jefferson, the football player that they wrecked the car of.
Yeah.
He was in Vision Quest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even looking at the TV.
Oh, he was big. Hey, he was Big Harold in Platoon, man. Don't forget about that.
Yeah.
Now, Platoon was Dad's favorites.
I was gonna say Color of Money, followed by Platoon. He was in Stakeout. Good Morning Vietnam, though, was a memorable one for him.
So that probably wasn't so far off. That's not strange that was the first one I remember him from.
It's not. And like I said, Good Morning Vietnam was a very memorable movie of his. So.
I guarantee you I saw Platoon before I saw Good Morning Vietnam because my dad
I didn't.
I
saw Platoon later.
Oh, he watched the war movies, boy. My dad watched the crap out of the war movies.
Yep.
So I would have saw him in Good Morning Vietnam. It's a toss up between that and Bloodsport, probably.
I tell you what, after Good Morning Vietnam, I don't think I saw him in another movie until I got probably to Phenomenon, because I didn't see. Well, no, I saw Species, so I guess I've seen him in that.
Yeah,
but
the Crying Game. He was Jody in the Crying Game about being. I believe that movie's about being in love with a transvestite. I think, or a cross dresser.
Hadn't
I
seen it.
believe.
I don't know.
Body
I didn't.
Snatchers. I saw Body Snatchers.
I didn't watch that one either.
Blown Away. Hey, ain't that the Tommy Lee Jones movie about the? Yeah, it is. Jeff Bridges and Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay, well then I've seen that one then.
I knew you'd seen that one.
Yeah.
The Enemy
I
Within.
mean, it's not like I looked for movies with Forrest Whitaker in them. He's not exactly the one of my favorite actors out there. I have nothing against him, but I mean, I like his character in Phenomenon. Did you see Phenomenon?
Phenomenon.
It's got John Travolta in it.
Phenomenon. Oh,
Phenomenon.
Spoon. No, I'm thinking
Phenomenon.
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 I'm thinking of Michael, where he bent the spoon. Phenomenon. Was that around the same time as Michael?
Phenomenon is where he was. He got some kind of a his psychic ability power type or something. Something happened to him, and then something happened with his brain changed or something. The Robert Duvall was the doctor, and he said something happened where his brain had altered somehow, and it opened some things up that, like certain in the certain parts of his brain that made him more of a genius and everything. And of course, it ended up being something. Spoiler alert! It ended up being something that happened to him that he died from as well.
Oh, now there was another movie he was in that I know I've seen bits and pieces of. I need to go back and watch it. It had Ray Liotta and
Are you talking about
Kiefer Sutherland in it? It's Article 99.
Yeah, Article 99's on here. You are talking. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Travolta for a second.
Yeah, no, I was talking about him. Yeah.
Battlefield Earth.
Jason's Lyric. I watched Jason's Lyric. That's the one that had singer. Come on, help me out. Jada Pinkett and Trick.
Oh, okay. I never saw it.
Yeah, Eddie Griffin. It was a good movie. Alan Payne was in it. That was a good one. Jason's Lyric. You wouldn't have seen that. You're a white boy from middle United States, man.
From middle United States or middle Tennessee?
Middle Tennessee. You ain't
Yeah.
watching no Jason's Lyric. Love of the Game.
I don't even know what it's about. So I mean, I couldn't tell you. I've never seen it. All I know is I've never seen it before.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
Right, all right.
Bring my inner thug out later.
I remember
okay,
he was
we'll talk about
species. That. Mr. Holland's Opus, that was a good one.
Most recent thing I can think of that I saw him in was Rogue One.
Yeah, man.
Played Saul Guerrero.
That's right. And he did it in the video games too.
He's also in the Black Panther movie, Zuri.
Yep. What was the name of the daggone video game? I can't remember it.
Fallen Order?
Cal Kestis. No, the video it's a Star Wars video game. It's got Cal Kestis in it. I hope he gets his own movie.
Only video games I'm seeing listed up here with him in it were Rebels and Battlefield.
No, that ain't it.
Fallen Order.
That ain't it either. No, Fallen Order is it.
He's Saul Guerrero, the voice in Fallen Order.
Yeah. Yeah, he plays in both of them. There's two of them.
He was in Andor TV series playing the same character. So that character's around about its ways there. Moving on from Forrest Whitaker. Who we got next we want to talk about? One more person, I guess. Bolo Young.
Either that or what's his name? The dude that was in the Dragon. Roy Chow.
Yeah, one played his Shidoshi Tanaka.
Yes, Shidoshi Tanaka.
Shidoshi Tanaka. You do not look like Tanaka.
He was in Enter the Dragon. He was the leader of the monks or whatever in there.
Yeah. That's been a while since I've seen Enter the Dragon.
He was in a movie called The Protector, a Jackie Chan movie, The Protector.
I've seen that.
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan. I've seen a lot of good Jackie Chan movies.
And he was Lao Che in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I thought that was a fun fact.
He was, wasn't he? Okay.
He was.
When I was watching that earlier, I was wondering what movie I have seen him in because he reminded me of somebody and I could not put my finger on it. That is it.
Lao
He's
Che.
started laughing as he's flying off. Goodbye, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, that's him. That's why I wanted to
great.
bring him up mostly
That's
right
great.
there because we had talked about possibly doing a show on that one in the future.
That was great. Bolo Young, I would not say I've seen a lot of his stuff. I know he was in Enter the Dragon, and I can't say I've seen him in anything else until I saw Bloodsport. But he's been in so many stuff, though. I mean, a ton of stuff.
Huge. He's huge.
In the late 80s and early 90s, he had a series of B movies he was in with anybody from Cynthia Rothrock, Richard Norton, Jaleel Maher.
Where he's Double Impact, Fearless Tiger, Tyler Claws, Ironheart.
All right, here we go with the B movies I'm talking about.
Fighter.
Tiger Claws 2.
Mm-hmm.
He was in oh man, there's more than what I see listed on here. I know.
Shoot Fighter. I actually just watched the Shoot Fighter, both of them, the first one and second one, like just a few weeks ago. Like seriously.
Did you?
I sure did. I just watched those movies. Because I thought it was cool that William Zabka, who is Johnny, thought it was cool that Johnny was in a movie. So Johnny and Nick, Michael Bernardo, were two friends. Actually, they're three friends. Bolo actually taught in this. I'm talking about the second movie. The first movie, I don't remember so much. I think I watched the second movie. I don't think I did watch the first movie because I think the first movie's got some different folks in it. But it did still have and anyway, never mind. I'm getting off track. But anyway, yeah, they were friends in a dojo, and Bolo Young in the first movie, Bolo was like the main guy, and he swore that he wouldn't fight anymore. And then in the second movie, it was a younger guy that like had taken over, and they like got blackmailed or something into cage fighting, and then the daggum police got involved and everything. But anyway, he like goaded Bolo into fighting at the end of the movie. But Bolo was a good guy. It's one of the few movies that I saw Bolo as a good guy.
Do you know what's kind of funny about this movie?
What's that?
Kind of moving on just to some fun facts about it. Ray Jackson does not use any recognizable martial art at any point in the film. He's just like a roughhouse biker type.
Right.
So I mean, if you're a fighter who has been given an invitation because you're well known for your style of fighting, how did he get an invitation to the tournament?
Tough man contest, dude.
You think so?
Yeah, pit fighting. They call it a pit fighter.
And in the tournament scenes, have you noticed this? Jean-Claude Van Damme is seen trading kicks when fighting a guy in a gray karate suit with long hair.
Mm-hmm.
The fighter is veteran Hong Kong stunt performer and top-notch martial artist Yushu Wu.
Mm-hmm.
He was told, the guy was, to tone down his kicking skills to make Van Damme look better on the screen.
Ha.
Man, do you remember the story of how this movie got out, though?
No.
You know, they had filmed it. He got in front of the Canon people or something, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw the guy on the street and he demonstrated his kicks of what he could do. And the guy thought he could use him for something. So they go do Bloodsport, right? And in order to help get this movie released to the theaters, Van Damme even helped edit the film. I think it faced troubles getting out because of their bankruptcy.
Right.
And so he did all he could. It's one of his favorite films. He just said also that's of his own. One of his favorite films he ever did.
I could
I
see
can,
that.
yeah. I mean, I can see why.
Yeah, it might have would have been one of mine.
I definitely would have. I mean, I'm not saying not because he portrayed Frank Dux, but it's a great martial arts flick. And if you're a
Yeah.
martial artist, you should like something like that.
Well, that's like when you were talking about the um character of Johnny Cage being based on it.
Mm-hmm.
So Tobias, one of my favorite characters in Mortal Kombat, the Mortal Kombat franchise is Noob Saibot, and
Yeah,
it's Boone and Tobias spelled backwards.
yeah.
But John Tobias said they wanted to make a gritty game that's based on this movie. So in all actuality, the entire game of Mortal Kombat is based on this movie.
More or less, the theme of it is, and the character of him. They kind of got the. We used to speculate where the other characters came from. We would say like Sonya Blade was Cynthia Rothrock.
Yeah,
Because she kind of resembles her. We would say that the guy that plays um, Liu Kang was based off of the Tommy Lee character on Best to Best.
yeah, for sure.
Um,
Well, that's what I'm saying. John Tobias said that they based the game. They took huge inspiration from the Bloodsport movie.
yeah, and then you got what was the bad guy's name at the end of it?
Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung. So I say Shao Kahn. Shang Tsung looks just like Lo Pan from Big Trouble in Little China.
Mm-hmm.
Raiden looks like the Storm, the Lightning Storm from Big Trouble in Little China.
Right.
And then of course you got your ninjas. You got Scorpion and Sub Zero. Kano. I don't know if I can say Kano reminded me of anybody offhand. But
Terminator.
You think Terminator?
Yeah, with the half a face missing and the red eye, and he shoots the laser out of.
He's like a cyborg.
If you don't think of the movies, you know what I mean.
He didn't shoot a laser out of his eye in the first game that come out.
Yeah, I would say Terminator because he's got a half his face missing with the red eye and cyborgish.
Yeah, we can go with that, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't know where else he would come from other than that, though.
Oh, another cool little thing, Polo Tocha, which was the guy in the white, the yellow shorts. He was the Muay Thai guy that seemed French. I think he was French, but he fought Muay Thai. He had the yellow shorts with the black writing on them, the little chin beard.
Who was he again?
Paulo Tocha is his real name.
Oh, the one that would hold his fist up in the air and wanted Van Damme to put his fist up with him and he sucker punched him.
Yeah. Exactly. So he is a real Muay Thai champion as well.
I'd believe that. He had a good he had a good look about him and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Do you notice who else was in this movie that was in Kickboxer along with Van Damme?
Who's that?
Michael Kesey.
Michael Kesey. Which one was he?
I believe he was the one that Chong Li broke his leg.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he was him.
Cool.
Looks a lot different with hair. In a Kickboxer he was bald, right? So
yeah. Did you know that Jean-Claude Van Damme did his trademark splits a total of 7 times during this film?
He better quit it. He might want to have kids one day.
7 times.
The majority of Bolo Young's lines in this movie are similar to Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon, it said.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see it. I'd have to watch Enter the Dragon again, I guess.
I don't even remember having any lines. That might be what they mean.
Well, no, Bruce Lee had lines.
I'm talking about Bolo's lines.
Well, in Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, you break my.
Oh, they're saying his lines are similar to Bruce Lee's. What Bruce's were in Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now Frank Dux, he says, now you talk about him being a fake and a phony and everything. According to the word, Frank Dux never has and does not hold any of the world records listed at the end of the film. Like his
Right.
own backstory and claims of Kumite's success, they are all pure fiction.
Mhm.
The dim mak is actually a purely fictional martial arts move that has its roots in Chinese, the
Acupressure.
wuxia novels or something. It's
Yeah.
popularized in the 60s and 70s by Count Dante, who ran ads in Black Belt magazine and other magazines of the day, claiming to be able to teach it for a small fee and joining the Black Dragon Fighting Society.
Mhm. That's so funny. Hey,
Hmm.
one of the things that he said though that Chong Li Bolo. Remember he said brick not hit back, and then Bruce Lee when Bob broke the board, he said boards don't hit back.
Right. Oh, that's one of the, yeah, there you go. There's a similar line. I didn't think about that. That's a good point, though. Huh. And I see what you're talking about acupressure, too. As I'm seeing something else about the dim mak, the death touch.
Yeah,
Legendary move fabled in Chinese martial arts folklore, acupressure attack, where the attacker quickly strikes his opponent several times in sequence at various spots on his body, striking an opponent, and the method can result in broken bones, paralysis, painful muscle spasms, or even instant death.
yeah. So the dim mak is fake, but acupressure is real. And then there's a heart punch. The heart punch is real. The heart punch is very real.
Yeah.
Um, you can you can see it on I was going to say on display, but not really on display as much as it kind of explains why it stops your heart pretty good in Jet Li's movie Fearless, where he plays the rear. They kind of go through the life story of the real life person Hu Jia who founded uh, the Jingwu Martial Arts Foundation in China. Also, a marvelous movie. If you've not seen Legend, you need to go watch it. That's a good one.
All
Especially
right.
if you dig the martial arts movies.
Yeah.
Hu and Ja is awesome.
I mentioned to you earlier about Donald Gibb. So the character Ray Jackson, they said showed no formal skill of fighting at all in it.
Mm-hmm.
Says according to Frank Dux, the character played by Donald Gibb was based on ex-biker and jiu-jitsu practitioner Richard Robinson.
Oh, so hey, we're getting close to the end here.
Yeah,
I want to ask you a question.
sure.
What do you how different do you think this movie would have been if Michael Dudikoff had played Frank Dukes?
Michael Dudikoff cannot throw a kick like that to save his life. He can do some other things that make him look good on camera. And if you've ever seen Avenging Force, then you'll know he's got some skills fighting, and they can make it look pretty good. But there's no way that you could have made him look good in Bloodsport, and that as that kind of fighter.
Yeah,
You'd have to have changed what type of style, what style of fighting it was he specialized in to put that story around him or something.
I feel you. Well, the filmmakers, I asked you that because the filmmakers apparently passed on Dudikoff because he was 6'2" and too tall. So
Wow,
he was actually slated to play Frank Dukes in this movie.
is that not something else right there?
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I'm gonna get you first this week. What was your favorite part of the movie?
Oh man, um, I it was very humorous to me, and it's a internet famous favorite thing for people to do with the Mentos song commercial. It's the chase where the two guys are there to pick up Frank Dukes and take him home, and
Yeah,
they tell him, "Don't make us use 50,000 volts on you, Frank." And Jackson gets up and knocks him to the ground, and he takes off running. So they're chasing him all around Hong Kong until the guys finally, fall off some boats into the water, and he's on the other side of the water getting into a little rickshaw to get away, and he's waving at him. But
yeah,
it always comes to mind how somebody has taken the Mentos commercial and put that to that scene, and it fits so perfectly. Um, if not that scene, then it was probably when I first seen the movie when he's demonstrating the death touch. So they're
yeah,
like, you don't look like a Tanaka. and they're like, he's telling them, Shidoshi, Tanaka was his Shidoshi. So he says, if that's the case, you should know the dim mock.
Right.
Show it. And then he said, of course, he can't do the top brick. He has to do the bottom brick.
Yeah. Yeah, the death touch, the dim mock. Got to make the bottom brick.
I don't even think it's possible. That's not even possible. I say
That
nobody
would
can
just
do that.
take some luck.
I would say a lot of luck that nobody can do that.
My
The
favorite part is in the last fight scene where Chong Li throws the dust in his eyes and he's looking like he's just looking all lost, like he's gonna cry. Oh, but he's still fighting.
Yes.
The last fight scene is my favorite scene. It's got to be.
I mean, it was a great fight, no doubt. There was a goof in this movie. A bit. There's always goof ups in every movie, right?
Yeah.
But the guy who is escorting them around,
the little Jimmy Chong guy, whatever, I don't know his name, but you talking about the native with the glasses?
Yeah, his name was well, crap.
Lin.
I don't know if it was. I can tell you what a second. Just a second. It was Lin. He is seen escorting Frank and Ray down to that narrow corridor where they meet the guys. It's okay, USA.
Yeah.
And it says that when they get there, Lin has a scruffy beard. When they get to meet the Kumite judges, he's clean shaven.
Yeah.
But later on in that very same scene,
he's got
his
a mustache.
beard is back.
Yeah. Well, there's another good one too. Is the Frank Dux' hair? Like during the fight, it'll be dry and then it'll be wet, and then it'll be dry and then it'll be wet, like 2 or 3 times during the fight scene.
It is funny, isn't it? One thing I'd like to make mention about, since they talk about Duke's lying about everything, some of the things that he has lied about before the credits, the following can be found. Motion pictures based upon true events in the life of Frank W. Dux. From 1975 to 1980, Frank W. Dux fought 329 matches, he said. He retired undefeated as a world heavyweight full contact Kumite champion. Still holds 4 world records for fastest knockout, 3.2 seconds, fastest punch with a knockout, 42 or 0.42 seconds. Fastest kick with a knockout, 72 miles per hour. Most consecutive knockouts in a single tournament, 56. Subsequently, Mr. Dux founded the first American ninjutsu system, Dux Ryu, and he lied about every single bit of it.
Lied about every bit of it.
I mean, how do you get people to believe it to begin with? I wonder. I mean, how do you disprove something that you can't really prove either?
The internet got him.
Is that what the internet finally catch up to him?
The internet caught up to him.
Man. That's what happens, man, when you lie. Stuff catches back up to you, karma. Karma's a thing, man. Karma's a thing. Well,
running around lying about all that stuff.
Man, I tell you what. So before we go, we're gonna go ahead just right now, while you're off the top of your head. Is this absolutely your favorite, or do you have a favorite Van Damme movie? What's your absolute favorite one?
It's a tough call, man. It's a toss-up between this one and Kickboxer.
I told you earlier, it always goes back to this one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Although I really did love Double Impact a lot. So yeah, it's kind of hard not to say Double Impact, but it's really hard not to say Bloodsport too, because that's what really got me going on him.
Yeah, Double Impact was pretty good. I liked it. Double Impact, I don't know if that would even be. Yeah, my top 3 are going to be Bloodsport, Kickboxer, and I go against the grain with Cyborg. I really like Cyborg. I like the dystopian future.
Well, Cyborg was good, so I'm not going to complain about that at all. I don't know what the soundtrack was like, but they had that fun song on there that Stan Bush performed. So I think he did the Kumite song, didn't he?
Yeah, Kumite.
So, well, we are pretty much at the end here. We need to go ahead and start wrapping stuff up, Travis. So, I know that
Yeah.
breaks your heart. We got to quit talking about Van Damme and all his movies and everything, but there'll be
All
another
the
movie.
splits.
There'll be another movie come up soon. I'm sure.
I want to know who played the referee on the end. He looks kind of like Jesse Lee Peterson.
Who?
The guy who played the referee in the last fight.
I know, but who did you say it looked like?
Jesse Lee Peterson.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, I'll show you. You have to Google him after the show.
Oh, I'll have to Google him or something then. That's crazy. We can find, but you know what? Now the people out there are going to want to know who played the referee. So now we have to say who it is before we go.
Oh, I don't even know.
Well, I'm going to look and see if I can. The referee judge is AP George.
AP George. Well, since you look that up, and I look up Jesse Lee Peterson and watch what happens. Watch how you laugh.
You gonna share it on screen?
I didn't look it up.
Oh, I thought you was.
No, I was like, so figured since you Googled it, go ahead and Google Jesse Lee Peterson.
No, I didn't Google it. I went to the cast on IMDb where I was at.
Oh,
but just see Jesse Lee Peterson.
Yeah.
No way. It does kind of favor a little bit.
It does.
Just a little.
Telling you.
Oh, if we're talking about the same person here, radio host, broadcaster,
yeah,
politician.
Oh, he's Jesse Lee's
He's a little bit everything.
He's something else for sure.
All right, well, let's get this out there. Let's get to where you can find us at if you want to talk about the episode today. If you want to tell us what your favorite scene was, your favorite Van Damme movie, or anything like that, you can email us if you want to at the show here at Retro Life for you. It's retrolife, the number 4, YOU at gmail.com. If you want to check us out on social media, we are on Instagram and Facebook as Retro Life, the number 4, YOU. We have a website where you can listen to and now watch all the new episodes, and I'm slowly but surely uploading the old ones. They're linked from YouTube. You can find us on YouTube as well. So if you go to our website, www.retrolife, the number 4, the letter U.com, you can listen to pretty much the entire library we have. But if you go to the show notes, if we have the video available, link to it, it'll be in the show notes and you can watch it there. But you know, you just get real with it. Go to YouTube, find us there, Retro Life 4 YOU, and then subscribe to us and like and everything. And you can see all the stuff every week. Click that little bell notification where you know a new one gets uploaded from the old archive, and when we have our new episodes come out, you can see us just being the goofy people that we are.
Most of the time. It's been a long week.
Has been a long week. Anyway, Travis, anything you want to leave us with this week, or are we just going to go ahead and say thanks for listening and find our way on out?
Appreciate you guys listening. Give us what is it on the YouTube? You got to do the bell, like and subscribe.
Well, that's what I said. You got to like, subscribe, hit that bell. I said so it gives you notification.
Yeah,
right. We're currently at 102 subscribers, and it's getting more every day. We've gotten 2 to 3 per day for the last month and a half. It's been going pretty quick. So,
and we always be dropping knowledge, like something like you know what a ninja's favorite drink is?
What's that?
Water.